little self-care pod where you can escape the work week and unwind with your two besties.
No matter what day of the week it is, but for us,
It's Saturday.
Okay.
We are back and not sick.
Oh my God. It feels so good to be on the other side.
Our last episode, I swear, felt like a fever dream. By the end, I was like, I do not know what we said, what we talked about. Like, it just felt like a fever dream.
I actually have no idea. It also seems like so long ago. Maybe it's because that was a Monday and now it's a Wednesday. So it's like been a week and a half. But even today, I was at work fully thinking it was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then I was sending emails out about stuff about Thursday. And then I'm like, wait, that's tomorrow. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh.
It's also already almost February.
I know. It's almost your birthday.
Crazy.
31. How are you feeling?
I'm just like 31. Like 30 was fun. Now I'm like 31 feels real. Like 31
Yeah,
feels
you're like
like
in your 30s.
now I'm in my 30s,
Yeah.
you know? I don't
But
know.
still early 30s.
I feel like like you're just like that. I think this will be like the last like big birthday I have. After that, I'm just kind of like, let's just go out to dinner.
Yeah.
We don't need to like have balloons.
No.
Like,
no
the
more
whole
balloons, no
thing.
more cakes.
Yeah.
The whole shebang.
oh my
Yeah.
God. You've been single parenting this week, which is why
Yeah.
Stark's also here. So you'll see him make a guest appearance throughout the pod.
Guys, Stark is a good boy, but man, sometimes he can be a little annoying right now, especially. But yeah, no, I've been single dog momming. So I've been having to wake up early, walk Stark before work. And I have to give a big shout out to like Stark's grandparents, Richard and Tracy, because like without them, he'd be home alone all day. But they're coming to pick him up and bring him back to their house. And they're walking him while I'm at work. So thank you, Tracy and Richard.
They're the
Don't know what I would
best.
do without you.
No, literally.
But yeah, Matt is back late tonight, and I'm so excited to also not drive the truck anymore. Oh my God, I'm not a truck girl.
And it's like in the middle of winter too. So it's like
Yeah.
sketchy.
No, not fun.
But yeah, so you've been having to do all the blue jobs this week.
I did the shoveling of the snow. Of course, you get like 20 centimeters of snow the day Matt leaves. I had to refill the washer fluid in the truck. Like my hands got all black and dirty. I'm like, I washed them. It's like still not coming off. I'm like, this is just not for me.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
we sometimes take the guys for granted. Like all these like little jobs that, well, they're
Oh,
not
yeah.
bit little, but like you're
All
like,
these tiny, cute
all
little jobs you do.
tiny, cute jobs where we're doing things all the time. And then they like shovel the driveway and you're like, you're just shoveling the driveway. And then you do it. And
once
you're
in a
like,
while, but like,
wait.
no, it takes a lot of work.
It takes so much work.
Yeah. I feel like we've been on a big like health kick this week. Well, this month, but I feel like we've been really like baking and cooking like really yummy things. I want to talk about them.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
First of all, I feel like watching your weight or trying to hit your protein goals or health and wellness is just cottage cheese. Like
Yeah.
I was like,
The secret is cottage cheese and Greek yogurt.
cottage cheese in different forms. So it's like you're either eating it in like just like for breakfast, or you're making it into a mousse, or you're like blending it up and adding into a sauce, or you're making bread out of it. Like it's just
It's you can do everything with cottage cheese.
Literally.
Yeah.
like my whole algorithm is like, did you know if you take cottage cheese and I'm like, no,
Like,
I
know
didn't.
now. No, the mousse one that I sent you, that one's really good.
I've already made it like 4 times. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is so freaking good. It's
with
just
some raspberries or strawberries on it.
so literally, guys, you take cottage cheese, you blend it up, and you add cocoa powder and whatever sweetener
Yeah.
of choice. So like maple syrup
use
or
maple
honey
syrup,
or
yeah.
whatever. And literally, you blend it up, then you put it back in the fridge to kind of like harden, and it becomes like literally the perfect chocolate mousse that kind of tastes like chocolate cheesecake.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like cheese. Like it doesn't taste like cottage cheesy at all. Do you know what I mean? Like
No.
it's just very like sweet and smooth. And yeah, you can like put chocolate chips on it, or you can put some fruit on it, and then you're getting like 15-20 grams of protein for dessert.
It's so good.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah. So you made that. I made that. We both made that. And then you made this other thing. My protein.
Okay, so I made this a while ago. It's protein like cookie dough.
Okay.
So you take oats, you blend them. You blend 2 cups of oats to make oat flour.
Yep.
Then you mix in 2 scoops of your protein. I use like either vanilla or cookie dough or like whatever kind of one you want to use. I have a cookie dough one, so it kind of works out for this recipe. And then your sweetener of choice, again, it's just like a bit of maple syrup, some milk, and you like mix that together.
Okay.
A little bit of vanilla, I want to say maybe. No,
Okay.
maybe not vanilla. No, I don't think vanilla. Anyway, you mix it together. It makes like a dough, and then you mix in chocolate chips, and then you put it in a tin and you flatten it out, and then you take chocolate chips or chocolate dark and coconut oil, and you microwave that and you drizzle it on top and you put it away in the fridge for a while, and then it hardens, and then you cut it into like squares or however you want to eat it, and it's just the most delicious thing. It's like my favorite dessert, hands down.
Oh,
like it's so good.
I'm gonna make that this week.
Yeah,
that's honestly, guys, like the key is just like finding ways to like get your protein, but also like still enjoying your meals. Like I feel like some people are like just protein powder, and it's like protein powder is kind of disgusting unless you find
not on
good
its
way.
own. Like I will never just
water,
like put it with water. No, it has to be a smoothie. It has to be in a dessert. Like
Greek yogurt.
My oats in the morning. Those are really yummy.
And then I also made another like protein kind of like dessert. It was pretty much, so you take a can of chickpeas, you rinse that out, you blend that with peanut butter and like some kind of like sweetener, blend it all up. It kind of makes kind of like similar kind of cookie dough consistency. You add chocolate chips and you bake that, and it literally makes kind of like blondies or like a brownie type of thing, and it's really good. So I had that like during the week.
Do you bake it?
Yeah, you bake it.
Okay, you do bake it.
Yeah, so you put it in the oven for like, I want to say like 15 minutes, 350.
Okay.
And it literally just comes out and it looks like a little brownie. It's so good, and it's just protein. Yeah. Pure protein.
Wow.
So
look at us go.
Look at us.
I'm so proud
and
of
we've
us.
been on also just like health and wellness on top, like health and wellness because we're not drinking, but also like food, but also in terms of podcasts, I feel like we're both trying to like listen to educational podcasts this week or this month, sorry. And we have a few that we'll talk about this episode as well, because I feel like there are some really good topics.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
I have had a kind of a funny week because, at my job, guys, like we often do spirit weeks, and that's usually like the whole school will be a spirit week, you know, like wear red or like wear your jersey or wear like your favorite hat, like stuff like that. And I've been seeing on TikTok this trend of like an undercover spirit week where it's just like only the staff are in on it. So like the educators and like whoever else works at the school, but the kids don't know, and you're supposed to like do it. And so the kids are supposed to catch on to it.
Oh, that's fun.
It's actually super fun.
And every day's different?
Every day's different. So Monday was monochromatic Monday. So you had to wear like something, we all wear like monochromatic vibes.
Cool.
Tuesday was socks and sandals. So we were all wearing socks and sandals.
That's hilarious.
Today was super funny. It was anything but a cup. So you had to drink your water or your coffee out of anything but a cup. So I used a Greek yogurt like tin that I was
so
like
on
empty.
brand.
Yeah, so on brand right now. And I like cut. I was actually so proud of this. Like for the lid, I just cut like it's not like that great, but I like made like the like X like a normal like soda pop like thing. So my straw like stayed in it perfectly.
Sick.
And I was just drinking my water today. And I'm like, but I'm in kinder, right? So like no one like none of them are noticing these things. Like I'm literally drinking out of a yogurt thing, and like they're not saying anything. And I'm just drinking it. And I'm like to a group of them, I'm like, do you guys notice anything like weird or different about what I'm doing right now? And I'm like drinking out of it. And then one of my students is like, yeah. And she looks at me, she goes, you're so tall. And I'm like, I didn't mean about my physical appearance. Thank you so much for attacking my height.
Your hair looks really bad today.
So your skin looks so dry. Are you tired today?
Wait, something is off, madame. Like you've been kind of weird. That is hilarious because I feel like teaching kindergarten is just like
they're just like
you're like it's like you're drunk or like on drugs.
It just showed me like I could show up in anything or do whatever, and they probably just wouldn't even really question it. Anyway, tomorrow is Tacky Tourist, so I'm super excited.
So
have
did
like
they catch on? Were they like, what is this cup? Or they were just like, madame, you already have a Stanley. It's weird.
At the end of the day, some of them are like, why are you drinking yogurt? I'm like, you've never drank yogurt before? They're like, yeah, I have. And I'm like, you freaking liar. I'm like, no, you have not. Maybe you're a little yops or whatever. But yeah, they not really. They didn't really notice it. But
oh my God, that's
all
hilarious.
The staff are doing it. Tacky Tourist is tomorrow, and then denim on denim or denim something on Friday. So just like Canadian tuxedo.
Oh, cool.
So it's super fun.
So what's Tacky Tourist? What are you gonna wear?
Okay, so I have like one of those like hats with like the drawstring, and then I have like one of Matt's kind of like flamboyant, florally kind of shirts. I'm gonna wear my socks like over like my pants, like my leggings, and I'm gonna wear I think sandals again. And if I can find like one of Matt's like camera like something to hold something, I might do that.
That's so good.
But yeah, mainly like the hat, and maybe some like sunglasses or something.
Oh my God, that is so good. Oh, yeah, that's hilarious. I love
that.
Like
fun little things to like boost the morale. You know,
I love that so much.
You gotta be silly at work, and we have to go into the office, quote unquote, 5 days a week. So like you gotta do some fun stuff.
And it's more just like for the teachers too, because it's like you get a kick out of it. It's like Halloween or something.
Exactly.
You know?
Like we know something you guys don't know.
No, yeah, exactly. Actually, I think it was Ashley or one of our friends that was talking about this, that instead of doing dry Jan, there was a podcast that was just talking about if you really want to like implement a change in your life and you're like, I want to kind of reduce how much I'm drinking, just be sober for 1 week of every month. Because that ends
and then
up,
you're drunk the other 3 weeks.
because that ends
What
up
do you
being
mean?
3 months of being sober. So like instead of doing, I'm going to do dry Jan and not drink at all for January, because a lot of people end up failing like halfway through. Mm-hmm. What you do is you say, okay, every month I'm going to take
pick
1
a
week.
weekend.
1 week.
Okay,
Where
1
I'm like,
week,
I'm not
but
drinking.
yes.
I'm not doing anything. Like I'm just
Okay.
going to like be completely sober that week.
Yeah.
And obviously if you're sober more than that, that's great. But then it's just, that
So that means,
ends
like,
up 12
another-
weeks
Okay.
total versus only 3 weeks of dry Jan.
4 weeks.
Or 4 weeks, sorry. 4 weeks of dry Jan.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that ends up being like
Yeah, because I guess
4
like
months
almost
or 3
every
months, sorry.
Yeah, I guess almost every weekend, like they're just doing something socially, usually.
Yeah.
Depending.
Or like in the summer, I feel like that's
Summer
like,
for sure.
Summer's hard. Summer's hard
to
because
do
there's
that.
something ever, and like weddings. And stuff.
Weddings. Like, have you ever done a sober wedding?
No.
Like, that sounds crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna
obviously
have
when
to.
we're pregnant, we're gonna have to do that. But then it's just different because it's like, oh, I'm doing this because I literally am growing life inside of
Yeah,
me.
that's
So
different.
That's fine. But then to just do it, I'm like, it's open bar.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Okay, first, yeah, when you're saying that, I'm like, what do you mean? So you're just gonna be drunk like 3 weeks,
No.
and then 1 week you're sober?
One
But
week.
okay, I get it. I get it. I get
1
it.
week you're just like, I'm not gonna drink this week, and then that ends up being more like effective.
Okay,
'cause it
yeah.
ends up being like 3 months.
Okay, Roger.
Yeah, total.
Okay, and speaking of dry January, since that's our whole personality right now.
No, people are like, wait, I thought you guys were like a fun podcast. We're like, no, we are.
Okay, no, I am fun. Listen to what I do know for fun.
You sound like one of those people who are like,
Listen.
I'm fun sober. Listen
Listen to what I do. Puzzles. Guys, puzzles are so fun. Matt and I were doing a puzzle that we got for Christmas at the cottage this past weekend. It's like this big donut one. I think I mentioned it on the pod a few weeks ago. Oh my God, was I having a hoot doing this puzzle? It was so
funny.
fun.
You're-
It's so good for your brain.
No, it's so good for your brain, but you're not convincing anyone.
No!
You're like, guys, you know what's what?
Puzzles, guys. Just get
Puzzles.
a puzzle, get a 1,000-piece puzzle.
Yeah.
Also, crack open a Poppi. Have you had a Poppi yet?
No, I
should've
haven't
brought
had
you
one.
Oh
I
my God,
haven't
should've
had
brought
one
you
yet.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you one next time I see you.
Yes.
So yummy.
Okay, how is it different from bubbly or any of the other?
It's way less carbonated.
Okay.
And it has 5 grams of sugar. So versus 0. So it's sweeter. And I think because I'm so used to 0 sugar bubblies, like 5 grams of sugar, I'm like, woo, like
Yeah.
this is good.
Yeah.
Like it's not too sweet. And I know it's dry January, but I'm like, yo, some vodka in this? Like that would be so
So
yummy
good. Okay.
as well. Pocket that for later. But yeah, a Costco has a variety pack. It was on sale. I wasn't gonna buy it because their original price was $20 for like a 12 can. So I was like,
It's crazy.
That's crazy. But then it was on sale for like $14.99. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get it. So there's a lemon lime one, and then I'm confused because there's a blue one and a purple one, and they don't really say what those flavors are.
They're like, it's a blue flavor.
So I don't know what they are, but all of them are really good. But the lemon lime one is my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really yummy.
I want to try one. Yes.
Yeah.
I love. Now I'm like really into all the bubblies, like all the, what are they called? Sodas, the waters.
But this one is just different than like I would like at the end of the night it satisfies like that sweet craving.
Okay.
Like a bubbly doesn't really do that.
No.
It's just like, I don't know, it's good, but it doesn't like leave me necessarily satisfied like the way that this Poppi did.
Okay.
Yeah, Poppies
need
are
to try it.
good. Poppies and
Try it.
puzzles.
Poppies
and puzzles.
Poppies and
guys.
puzzles. You know what I did actually this weekend is like, we were like, hey, what should we do? To be honest, like now that we're not drinking, we're like, date nights, we're like, hey, we need to find something to do, you know, that doesn't revolve around drinking. Because before we'd be like, let's crack a bottle of wine and do this. Let's like go out for like drinks and da-da-da. Now it's like, hey, let's do an activity or let's find something else to do. And so we had like we love doing this. We went to Farm Boy.
Oh yes,
Bougied out. Yeah, like bougied out, got like steaks, got like all this stuff. And they actually have a ton of mocktails there. So you can get so many different mocktails that people are really popping off on the
Sober
mocktails.
curious, yeah.
Yeah. So we got this one. It was like this cherry bourbon cocktail, really good. And then this like Paloma one. literally tasted like a real Paloma. Like I was like, is there tequila in this? There has to be tequila.
I wonder what was in it that made it taste like that.
It was alcoholless, like it was like alcoholless tequila, but it was like
What
tequila
does that
flavor. I don't even
mean?
know. I don't know.
What
Like
is
someone
that?
explain the science. Do they just
Yeah.
make tequila and then they find a way to like take the alcohol out of it?
Is tequila made from like agave or
Yeah.
something? Okay.
So I'm like, this is just
I
like
don't
freaking
know.
agave syrup. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Farm Boy has really good mocktail selection, and like they pass the taste test. They don't just taste like artificial and stuff.
Yeah.
And then another thing we did was we went to, there's this thrift store near us. It's called Mission Thrift. It's literally a non-for-profit like thrift store, and it's I find it so much better than all the other like Value Village and stuff.
yeah,
Value Village is honestly such a scam.
Dude, it's so expensive there now for
No.
what it's like. I'm like, dude, this should not be $20. Like, I'm just gonna go to Plato's Closet.
There's like an expose that was done on Value Village of
Yeah.
how like they're actually making a profit.
Yeah.
People were selling like old wine bottles that were empty, like literally, you know, like the Côte de Rose
Yeah.
like wine bottle. They were selling that at Value Village for $3.99. People were like, this is an empty wine bottle. Like, this isn't like a vase. Like, this is just
that's recycling.
That's literally recycling.
Go down your go down your street on your garbage day and you'll find that.
No,
Like, that's
literally.
crazy.
So Value Village, honestly, I feel like is a scam. This place was like a local thrift store. It's really amazing. And it's really good for like finding, they have a huge book selection. The clothes
Yeah.
not good, but they have a lot of books and like stuff for your home. The book selection, like you can find literally like cookbooks for really cheap, children's
the
books.
one that's on your,
Yes.
that's the one you got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally
yeah.
like 99 cents. Like all.
Stop it.
Yes.
Because those big books, like at Home Sense and stuff, are like 40, 50,
No,
60, $100.
Best place to get, like, if you want coffee table books, if you want
Okay.
children's books, best place to get them is like thrift stores, but Mission Thrift.
Okay.
It's really good.
Add it
Yeah,
to your
check it out.
list. I love that.
Yeah.
You just reminded me, Matt and I went to a really good ramen place that I want to share.
Ooh.
It's on Somerset. It's called Koichi.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Yo,
Okay,
guys, I've had ramen in like Japan. Okay, like I'm not trying to flex right now, but like I've been in Japan and I've had the ramen there. This ramen is so good. Like I think it's my favorite ramen I've ever had.
Wow.
Like it was just so delicious, so filling, and you can like add different things to it too. Like I added corn to mine, I added mushrooms to mine. Like I got the pork belly one, and I love a spice. I think I got medium and Matt got spicy, and his was so spicy. And it was so
He
good. Oh,
loves
and then
the
we got
spice.
these like octopus things, and then we got chicken gyoza.
I love gyozas.
Everything was so good.
Ugh.
It's really small. They don't take reservations. Like we had to wait a bit to get a table. We had to wait like in the corridor. Thank God it was heated. But oh my God, it was so
I
good.
literally want to go this weekend because we saw them on Uber Eats, but I was like, I'm not ordering Uber Eats ramen. I want to go there.
You have to go.
You have to go there.
Yeah, you must go. It
Okay.
is so delicious.
Ugh.
Also exciting news. After 5 years of skiing, I finally got poles.
Oh my God. Talk about that.
And the first like 5 minutes I used them, I was like to Matt, I'm like, I fucking hate poles. Like this is so hard. Like what's the point of these? I don't get it. You know, you learn a certain way for so long, and then they introduce something new, and it's like you have to unlearn other habits.
Yes.
Like now that you have this like new thing that you're using. Anyway, after that day was over, I've gotten used to it a little bit, but yeah, it's definitely hard.
What do you use them for? Because when I've gone skiing, I've gotten poles and I just go like this and I don't actually use them.
It's like for balance. So like as
Okay.
you turn, you're supposed to use it and like put the pole in the ground to help you like turn and stuff.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, like it's supposed to help you go faster too, which like obviously I'm not trying to go that like much faster. If anything, I'm using them to like brake. I'm like, stop. I'm like, stop. Matt's like, don't use them to brake. And I'm like, I thought you're supposed to use them to brake. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, okay, I guess you know better than I do. But yeah, I have these nice, sexy white poles. And next I'm just going to upgrade. I'm going to get a new ski jacket. And I got heated gloves at Costco.
The best.
The best. $120. I feel like that's worth it.
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah. And like our crosswalk lady here has them. And she was like,
The crosswalk lady.
I talked to her and I was like, did you get the heated gloves? She's like, I got them for Christmas and they're the best because you charge them.
Yes. And Matt has them and they're so warm. So yeah, I'm just a happy little skier these days.
Now you have all the equipment and you can just flex on those hills.
Yeah, except now Matt's getting surgery and I'm not going to be skiing for a little
Damn
bit.
it.
But that's okay.
It's okay.
That's okay. We'll
It'll
get
be
up there
good in the
soon.
long
Me
run.
and Steph are going to go.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
we'll go.
So exciting news also for Ottawa is that ByWard Market is finally getting a little makeover.
I mean, it's been due. We need a little facelift. We're getting
Yes.
a little crow's feet. We're getting a little wrinkly.
We need some Botox up in
we need
there.
a little Botox facelift.
There's a lot of places that are closing down. So Blue Cactus is gone. So
well,
$10
don't do $10 triples like in a
It's
recession.
a recession. Like do $12.99 or something.
Come on.
But honestly, I think that whole area just needs a facelift. Like we need some new spots. We need some new bars. Like make it like Lansdowne. Like make that hype. We need the hype back in the ByWard Market. So they just got a $20 million investment coming up, makeover. William Street is going to turn into like a pedestrian only walking street during the summer. And they're also investing in kind of creating like an entertainment and cultural district, kind of like what Toronto and Montreal already has. And then their plan is to invest $197 million over 3 years to complete everything by fall 2026. Now I think that's
pretty soon.
I think that's ambitious because construction in Canada just always takes
true.
How long is this like freaking train like
the LRT
and like even the O train, like it just took so long to get all this stuff up and coming.
And downtown I feel like it's so complicated. Where is William Street? I don't even know where that is.
I think it's like right by here, I can look it up actually.
I'm trying to think, like there's like George Street, there's Sussex, there's Clarence. Is it parallel?
It's right by where the Beaver Tail place is.
Oh.
So like right by George Street. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now there's not that much there actually. There's a Cacao 70 spot.
Oh God, remember when that was kind of popular?
It's disgusting. Okay, and last but not least, obviously you guys have seen on Instagram that we're hosting an event on January 25th. And we're super excited because, a lot of people have already signed up.
Yes. So if you haven't signed up yet and you've been thinking about it, stop right now, stop listening, go and sign up because there's not too many spots left.
Yep.
And we want to see you there. And we have some really fun prizes that we kind of wanted to talk about. So when you get there and you pay for your ticket in, it automatically enters you into a raffle to win a couple of things. The most sought after one that I'm really excited about for people is a 30-day pass to the gym for free.
Yeah, which is insane.
Like over $200 value.
Yeah.
Wild. So that's like the kind of the main prize. Then we're going to give away one of our tote bags that is filled with a bunch of goodies, including gift cards, some products from local companies, like one salon called Sunday. There's some stuff from Golden Girl, who we had on the pod. Summer has kindly donated some stuff for you as well.
And then like electrolytes. We have like all these like good things.
Yeah. And then another thing of like little goodies. So your ticket itself is basically like already paid for if you win one of these prizes.
And you have a really good shot of winning because
it's like one in
like
30
or 1 in 35 people. So and if this goes well, we're definitely going to host more. So if you're sad that you have something that day, don't worry. We're going to probably have another event in the spring. So let us know if you'd be interested in attending that because I think it'd be fun to have more in-person events.
I think so too.
Build a community in Ottawa and
because there are people that signed up that we haven't met in person yet. So like, I'm excited to meet you.
I'm excited.
Thank you for signing up.
Yeah.
It means the world.
So fun. So fun.
You guys are the best.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into just some random shit.
Yes.
Or TikTok, like social seg. I don't know, whichever it is, but let's talk about TikTok.
Yeah.
Because RIP TikTok as of January 19th, allegedly.
In a few days, TikTok's going to be gone in the US, which is crazy.
Unless the Supreme Court intervenes.
Okay.
They can like intervene and like do some crazy shit, but I'm also just like if they're banning TikTok, can you guys ban like guns?
I know.
Please? Like, I feel like shootings are a way bigger deal.
They'll never do that though.
Than fucking TikTok. You're worried about your privacy. Like, shut up. Stop selling guns to people.
What I want to know is if TikTok's banned in the US, are people still going to use TikTok in other places? Because I feel like most of the users, like most of the content creators are based in the US.
Maybe this will be good for us though.
No, I know.
Maybe we're going to blow up in Canada now. There's no one else to watch except for us. So like, we're funny. We make stuff.
Literally. So yeah, that's crazy. And I've heard that Mr. Beast is now seriously saying, hey, I will buy TikTok so that it's based in the US so that it doesn't get shut down. So we'll see.
He's a billionaire, no? Yeah. So he's like any other billionaire like wants to buy. I mean, Elon Musk bought Twitter. Crazier things have happened.
No, crazier things
I feel like
have
TikTok
happened.
is way more fun than Twitter, in my opinion.
I
But
feel like China won't give it up though. They're like, no. But I feel like the value of the app will just plummet if the US
Probably
stops using it.
Yeah, 100%.
So actually it might be worth it for them to sell it before it's worth nothing. Speaking of TikTok though, so my algorithm right now is a lot of like the LA fires, which is devastating.
So
I honestly can't even imagine. It's so devastating. But Spencer Pratt and Heidi, if you saw, they lost their house in the fires, which was super sad. And he's just trying to like find some comedic relief in like all the sadness. And he's been making some like really funny TikToks, just being like, well, first of all, he's like, it's just funny because I lost my house and people are saying, because while he was famous, like before the fires happened, he was on this list of like celebrities who are like the poorest celebrities.
Oh,
like,
really?
They were like, this guy's not even rich anymore. He's like, has to work
all these
at, like,
crystals.
Yeah, he's like, he has no money. He's like,
oh no,
a
his crystals
nobody.
probably all burned away.
And then he literally now he's in articles and he like posts them. He's like, now I'm in articles, people saying this guy lost his house, but he's rich, so it doesn't even matter. He's like, which one is it? Like, am I rich or am I poor? Like, what's going on?
Oh my God.
And then he's like, guys, like, no, we're seriously, like, we're pretty poor.
Yeah.
And then he's like, guys, go stream like Heidi's music on Spotify.
Yep.
Like, it's gonna pay the bills. And it's honestly hilarious because now her song is like number
one. Her album's like number one. It hasn't been number one for like decades.
And he hit like 1 million followers on TikTok. And then he's like,
wow.
For every like guys, like this video, I'm gonna make us like $1,000. And then he makes another video. Yeah, we just made $1,000. Like, let's keep going. Like, if you guys like comment on this video, and it's hilarious because he's so funny. But I just like, he found this obviously such a devastating situation. Like, they literally lost everything, but he's like trying to find like some comedic relief to all of like the sadness.
For sure. You have to survive.
You have
somehow.
to. Because what are you gonna do? You're just gonna sit and cry. Like,
and also like, okay, all you have is your phone. So like, how are you gonna use that to like benefit you? And like, he's doing it.
Exactly.
So good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had heard like people were so sad about their home because apparently he was posting a lot of videos before that. Like, he had a bunch of hummingbirds like in his yard.
Honestly, the animals is what kills me, man.
Always.
Like the barns, because like the Palisades, there's so many like barns of like horses, and they like have these videos of like them trying to save all the horses, and I'm like,
you
oh my God,
set them free. It's like back when there was the like hurricanes and stuff happening in Florida.
So sad.
Yeah, super super sad. I heard it's like over like 150 billion in damage. They have like a 10-year plan to try and like repair everything, but like,
and even there's just like the smoke in the air is so bad for everyone living there, and people have to rich millionaires and like they just live in like a normal home and they lost everything, or they lived in a house that was like passed on for generations from like their grandparents, and like they can't afford to buy it again. Like, they just like had this house, you know.
I also heard P. Diddy's house burned down.
So then there was all these conspiracy theories that are like, there's so many like celebrities that are tied to the P. Diddy case that their house burned down, but like it didn't make sense with how like the fire was like spreading, and like now they're looking into arson.
Yeah, super sketchy.
I don't know. I feel like in a few years we'll see a documentary come out about all this.
Probably, or maybe 50 Cent will include this in his. Also, speaking of celebrities, I saw this really crazy thing where this woman was scammed out of $80,000 for thinking that she was dating Brad Pitt.
Sorry, what?
Because someone scammed her using AI generated images, and they were claiming that they were Brad Pitt, and they were struggling financially due to their recent divorce, and that he was going through cancer treatments, so they needed money for his cancer treatments. And the AI person was pretending to be Brad and Brad's mom, and was sending pictures that were made like with him holding signs being like, I love you, Nicole, or like this and that. Like you could still tell it didn't look real, but I mean, like, to like, I don't know, someone that's a little delulu, clearly. Yeah, $80,000. And then she realized that it wasn't the Brad Pitt because she saw in the tabloids like a photo of him with his new girlfriend, and she was like, wait, what?
Also, it's like, I love you, Nicole. Like, why aren't you guys FaceTiming? Like, why are you only sending
Dude, it's like that
so
Bobby
weird
documentary.
Yeah, some people are just like, they'll believe anything if they want to believe it. Like, you know, but that's crazy. I just see these catfishing stories are Honestly, AI is
come
going to get to a
on.
point where probably he could FaceTime and like there's going to be like a filter on your
Maybe
face.
because you can make videos now, so maybe they did make. Who knows, man? I don't know if they make
AI's
videos, but
scary, man.
just guys, a celebrity's probably not trying to date you if they're asking for money.
No.
Like, PSA. Like, stop
Also,
it.
Brad Pitt doesn't want to date you. Like, why would he date you?
No,
Like
Nicole.
Jennifer, like living.
He
in,
dated
like,
Jennifer, but
Oh, yeah.
not Nicole. Actually, no, I think he did date Nicole Kidman at one point. Though.
Yeah, he probably did.
Yeah. Oh my god.
There's also a really cool app that my brother told me about. It's also in Canada, but mainly in the States. Like it's way more used. It's called Too Good to Go. And essentially it's an app that limits food waste. So restaurants and different grocery stores, when things are like kind of on the cusp of like they probably can't sell it anymore, but it's not like completely gone bad, they'll like sell stuff like at literally like $2 or $3.
Okay.
And so like for example pizza places or like Tim Hortons like makes like
At the end of the night, they throw out
donuts,
like, all their stuff.
literally donuts, and like they only can sell donuts for that day, and then the next day they have to get rid of everything. So you can get this app, and literally I haven't used it yet, but like you can. I went on just to see like what stores in Canada. It's mainly just Tim Hortons and like a few other like pizza spots. But in the States, there's so many options. So my brother literally went the other day to this like Italian restaurant and got so much pasta, like pizza, all this stuff for like $4 or $5. He got like a huge like box of stuff. So anyway, if you're like in the States or if you're in Canada and you want like some Timmy's for cheap, literally it's called Too Good to Go. You pay and then you literally go pick it up from the store.
That's such a good little hack.
Yeah, and it's good for like students who are like, I don't have any money. And like Metro, for example, was on there selling fruit, like
It's
like
kind of like at the grocery store. Sometimes they have that like little cart. Like this week, I feel like is newer to Canada because when I lived in Korea, they would always a thing, like a big thing of like stuff that was on sale that you could buy, and I was like, oh, they don't do that in Canada. And like slowly now in Canada, I've been seeing they'll have like a tiny little shelf of like some expired stuff, but that stuff like usually looks pretty nasty. It's like, okay, like don't sell me it when it's like rotting. Like give me like
like it has mold on it, and you're still saying 50% off. Like Betty, no, that's crazy. But yeah. I think it's so smart because it's like it's good for the store. It's an incentive for the store because they would have to throw that stuff out anyway. Yeah, and then it's good for us or the consumer because then you're limiting food waste and you're saving money. So it's like a win-win situation.
I love that.
Yeah. Anyway, so get that app if you want to save some money.
So I know we both love traveling, and we just went to Italy this year. And you hit up Europe a lot this past year. Yeah. So now you guys, PSA, if you plan on going to Europe after May of 2025 this year, and the list of countries on this list is like so massive, so you're probably where you're going. Now Canadians need a new, it's not necessarily a visa, but it's like an application that you have to do. It's called the ETIAS, which is the European Travel Information Authorization System.
They couldn't have picked a worse name.
That is literally the worst thing I've ever heard. And I honestly think it's a bit of a money grab. So it's like 15 euros or something, or maybe it's €7, $15 that you have to fill out, and it's like all online, and you don't have to go in and do it, but you have to fill this out if you're between the ages of 18 and 70. Otherwise, you're not getting into Italy. You're not getting into
literally just a money grab.
Greece. You're not getting into all these countries that you want to go for your Euro summer. So save up your €7, and it's just another admin thing you have to do, which is kind of annoying. Even the Americans have to do it as well.
Yeah, I think it's probably just like the EU's way of like making sure that they're getting paid. All right, I want to jump into a podcast episode that we both listened to that I think everyone needs to listen to. I'll link it below.
Yes, such a good one.
Yes.
You guys probably know Mel Robbins.
Yes, Mel Robbins I feel like blew up in the last like 3 or 4 years, but she's been around for a while.
I read her book Dare to Be Bold or Dare to Lead. I can't remember which one it was, like years ago. Like it was one of the first like self-help kind of books that I've ever read, and I really liked it. It was really good.
She's really good. She's so well spoken. She has her own podcast now too. And yeah, so she was on the Jay Shetty podcast, just promoting her new book. about the let them theory. And I'd heard about this theory before, like last year. I feel like it kind of blew up, but I don't know, this specific episode just resonated so much with me, and I feel like it did with you as well. And I like, there were some key themes that I really feel like we need to chat about. So if you haven't listened, go listen to that episode and come back to this section, because I feel like it's kind of like a book club, like
literally
like,
podcast club.
Yeah. So if you don't know about the let them theory, it's essentially like, instead of like a way of saying letting something go, it's kind of like twisting the narrative and being like giving the control back to you. So let's say like, I don't know, your husband like isn't listening to you about something and you're kind of like getting frustrated. Instead of like getting frustrated, you just say let them, and you take the power back to yourself and you let them figure it out for themselves, instead of always being in control and like wanting to control every situation. You kind of let it go.
And I feel like we both love control.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah. I really liked her example. She gave a good one about being at the grocery store. Yes. And, you know, let's say you get to the grocery store and there's a big line and there's one cashier, and, you know, you're just waiting there for a while, and you're probably like quick to, you know, like make an eye roll, you know, like, you know, why aren't they opening up more cashiers? Like, you know, I could do this way faster myself. Like, you're going to the person beside you being like, can you believe this? Like, you know, instead of just like, you know, again, just like, let them, you know, just let this grocery store be the way it is. You are not a manager of a grocery store. There are so many other things that you can do in that moment instead of getting upset or angry that will then trickle into the rest of your day. Then you're driving home, you're upset. You get home and Matt left his shoes out. Then that makes me upset. It's just this ongoing little trigger. So instead of that, just, you know, let it be what it is. What can you do in that time? Yep. Positively text a friend, make a phone call, send an email. Like, there's so many things you can do instead of getting worked up in that little moment. And I was like, wow, it's definitely been me before.
Yeah, I've definitely been, that's always been me. I'm like, oh, why is this line the only slow line of this whole grocery store? Yeah. But there's a lot of situations that are out of your control. And so I feel like she really says those situations, you just have to let them occur, because humans have around 70,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot. And so if you really think about it, if we're letting these types of situations that are out of our control consume those 70,000 thoughts, like add into those thoughts, then you're going to go crazy, because like you're not having, like, your thoughts are then being controlled by like things that don't actually matter and that you are out of your control. Yeah. And so like, it's a really good way to think, and like a really good, I feel like motto for 2025 is just like, let them. And like, if your friends are gossiping about you and you're thinking about it, or you wake up the next morning, you're like, did I say something stupid at the party last night? Like, just let them gossip about you, because then she says, she like turns it back on you. So let them gossip, but let me take accountability and say, do I still want like friends that gossip about me, for example? That's just one of the examples she gives. Yeah.
I love taking the power back into your control.
Yep.
And a lot of the times too, it's like, I feel like maybe you're overthinking a situation, like, oh, you know, like this person hasn't texted me in a bit, or, you know, I texted them and then they didn't answer back like right away. And we just put a lot of expectations, high expectations on certain friendships. And like, I don't think that's necessarily fair or a good thing. It's like, maybe they're not texting you back because something happened in their family, or like, I feel like ourselves, how many times have I gone a text, like mentally replied to it, and then just accidentally, like, you just forget.
Because you have 70,000 thoughts a day, and like, you're literally like,
exactly.
I'll send someone this text later, and then you literally forget. So it's like, she said a really good line. She said, expect less from your friends. So just expect less from friendships, from relationships, because then you're always going to be like, if you expect less, then when you get more, you're going to be happy about it. So it's always just like better to expect less, but also just be more proactive yourself. Like put in the time for the friendship, but then you also can't expect someone, because you're the one making plans for them to give back the same way. It's not tit for tat. Like, if I'm making plans for you, doesn't mean you have to put in the same effort for me. Just expect less from people.
For sure. I feel like this also ties really well into the book. I mentioned the 4 agreements, with one of the agreements being don't take things personally. I feel like this ties in really well with that.
Don't take things personally.
Yeah, don't take it personally.
And she also talked about like adult friendships, which we literally had a whole podcast episode with JJ talking about adult friendships and like how difficult it is navigating friendships in your 30s. And she talks about like the 3 pillars of friendship. She says proximity is like number 1. It's huge in friendship. Like, obviously when you're growing up, like you're seeing like people in your class a lot, you're close to them, you're seeing them every single day.
You're going
like,
to the sports together, you're hanging outside of school together, you're just always together.
Proximity is like that. And then when you get older, like people don't live close to you, they're in different cities, they're like not that close, so it's going to affect you. So proximity is number one. Timing of your life is really like important as well. So like if you're at the point of your life where you're getting married and having kids, but then your other friend isn't at that point,
they're still going out every weekend, they're partying, it's just like you're not aligning on the timing of your life anymore. And
exactly.
That's okay.
And
it's
that's
no one's
okay.
fault.
And then the third thing is like energy, which kind of sometimes ties into timing of life, of like energies can shift as people grow older and like things change. So like, let's say you're not drinking this month. And so like that's going to be different energy. Or if like you're putting your 100% focus into your work, then your energy is going to be different from someone who isn't doing that, for example, or isn't really caring about health and wellness. Like, it's just going to be a different energy. So like she said, again, don't take it personally. But when one of these three pillars is off, sometimes friendships can change, and that's okay.
Yeah. And I think she said something too that I really liked, where I feel like sometimes when a friendship like fizzles out, and let's say like you used to talk all the time and like now you don't really talk anymore, maybe you don't talk at all. But if you were to just like let's say you are thinking about someone and you're like, oh, I don't know. I like haven't spoken to them in like a year. Like, I don't know if I should text them or not. Like, when was the last time like you got a text from someone out of the blue and it didn't make you so happy?
I love that example.
Right? So just like text the friend, hey, what's going on in your life? Like, hey, I saw this movie and it made me think of you. Or hey, like I walked by this thing and it reminded me of you. Like just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah,
and also chances are that friend also was like, I've been meaning to text you too. I'm like, it's so nice to hear from you. And then that starts the conversation.
And it doesn't mean you're going to be like best friends again, because maybe you live in different cities, but it's just like take those little moments and and that's okay to do that.
And I feel like the last thing that she kind of mentioned that was really like, especially this week for me. So she said, instead of asking someone like, how can I help you? Like, let's say you're seeing a friend or your partner is struggling with something. Instead of like going there and being like, how can I help? How can I be there for you? How can I do this? Just find something and do it, because chances are like, they're just gonna be like, I'm fine. Or like, I don't need it.
Most people don't like asking for help.
Exactly. So like, for example, like something happened this week. One of Farzad's like family members passed away. And so he was with his family all day. Like, it was like a very sad environment. And I knew that he had to come back, and it was like the day that it like snowed like a lot. It was like 5 or 10 centimeters. I can't remember. And so I knew like he had to shovel the driveway, because that's usually what he does. And he like puts out the garbage. So I was like, you know what? I do a really crazy day at work, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to go shovel the driveway. I'm going to put out the garbage so that when he gets home, he doesn't have like these lingering chores that he has to do. And like, he literally pulled in, saw that the garbage, he thought our neighbor did it, first of all. He was like, oh my God,
way my wife did this.
He literally was like, wait, our neighbors did this? I was like, I did this. Like,
you're like, I work out every day. I could shovel the snow.
This was me. And then anyway, so like it made his day, but it's like little things like that where it's like, instead of asking someone, how can I be there for you? How can I help? Just like find something and do it.
Guys, people love food. Yeah. They love, like, what's it called? Acts of service. Like, I'm sure, like, especially with your partner or like your friends, there's so many things you can think of.
I feel like you're really good with that too. There was like a time where I don't know what happened. Something happened. And like, you just like randomly sent me like a Starbucks like gift card for like a coffee. And it was like, go buy yourself a coffee today. Just like little things like that, I feel like really do make a difference. And so, yeah, it was nice just hearing. Honestly, that episode like changed my brain chemistry. It was like such a good episode.
It was a good little rewiring for sure. I really, really enjoyed it. It made me really want to get her book.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, bring your Kindle.
Do you have it on your Kindle?
No,
already?
I don't, but I'll get it.
I'll bring it next time. I'll bring you a Poppi.
Yeah.
And then you can put that on my Kindle for me. No, Mel Robbins. And I was also like, I thought it was really like cool how emotional she got at the end.
It made me literally tear up.
Yeah, like she really worked. She's like, I feel like this is what I was put here to do. Like, this is my like legacy. And I was like, wow, like how amazing is it of a feeling to feel like you figured out like what your legacy is, and what a legacy that she has left with this knowledge. I feel it's just so applicable in friendships, relationships, like work, just in life.
You can apply it anywhere. Like, let them can literally be applied in every situation. I really want to read her book, but she also just went on Oprah recently. And so I follow her on Instagram, and she had this video, and she was literally like crying, like bawling. She's like, guys, I'm about to go on Oprah. Like, I just got my makeup done and I don't give a shit. Like, I'm crying. She's like, I'm about to go to Oprah to talk about like my life's work. Like, like pinch me, like this is crazy. Like, and it was such a like, I don't know, so like touching. I'm like, this is beautiful. She's worked so hard, and like such a full circle moment to like finally be recognized for her work. And I love
that.
So
let them
and
let me.
Yeah.
Love that. Check it out, guys.
Check it out.
All right. We will see you
at our event
January 25th on the Saturday. Sign up if you haven't.
Yes.
Boys, girls, and if your girlfriend listens to us and she can't come, you can still come. We're friends.
Yes.
Vice versa. Okay.
Exactly.
Everybody come.
Everybody. And you might win a free freaking membership for 30 days.
I wish we could win.
I know.
This place is sick. You guys are excited to share this space with you. Harry's amazing. So
yep.
Looking forward to it.
Okay. We love you guys. Bye.